This podcast is aimed at older audiences, so if you're not 18 or plus, this is not for you. If you happen to still watch it, then that is on your own head, be it, and we take no responsibility for any of the things that you will hear during this podcast. Titties.
Titties.
Hey. And of course, Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Congratulations. Those who are listening, you made it through that shit show of a year known as 2020. Now we're in 2021. Insert all of the memes. I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas. I hope you celebrated the new year in the best way that you possibly could. Let's play some fucking D&D. Yes.
Can I tell them the exciting thing that happens in 3 days?
Sure, because even I don't remember.
You don't remember that my birthday's in 3 days? You bitch.
I would have had Facebook tell me it's fine.
Yeah, no, my birthday's on a Wednesday this year, so I get to be excited on both weekends.
Hey, your birthday's on a hump day.
Yeah.
Nice.
I get to be excited on both weekends.
Yes. So, our resident rogue has to vanish here real shortly. But I am going to speed through the notes from last episode because these are quality notes and I appreciate them. I appreciate them so much. So, in last episode, the guards come down to gather the locals from below to go and watch the fight. One of the guards questions the feline aggressively with his fist. JD keeps his stiff upper lip and his life, and they get marched into the Thunderdome. Beck marches Orpheus to the circle brackets of jerks. Orpheus is announced and shoved violently into the ring. His opponent is an ogre zomb. The guards let him loose and flee like rats with a spotlight on them. Our barbarian does a rage and punches the ogre. Punches, nay, he pummels him. Ogre tries for a grapple and is too oafish to grab hold of the 6-6 rage machine. These are fucking golden. JD is watching in the crowd with Spencer at his side, but that's not enough for Jeannie. She shifts back into the back of the crowd and wild shapes into a new favorite rodent, the black rat. She sneaks into the ring and watches the players. JD notices the rat entering the ring and decides to position himself outside the door. Moments later, Orpheus' trident is yeeted to his feet and it lands with a clatter. Orpheus reaches for the sword stuck inside the ogre's side and dislodges it and some entrails, and he reclaims his trident. Genie leaps up to the ogre, climbs up the top of his head, looks over at the barbarian, and bites the ogre in the eye. Ogre tries to give. Ogre tries to smack Genie and punches his own eye for 8 damage, losing both balance and turn. Beck chuckles and the rat's dinner show. And at the rat's dinner show, and adds his own flavor to the mix by casting a spell on the ogre, engulfing it in holy flames. JD gets caught and yeeted into the ring, just as 3 zombie ads spawn in. Zombo 1 uses swipe and Orpheus. What is this, Pokemon? It's not very effective. Zombo 2 and JD have a quick throating session with fists. Oh my god! Before JD reacts with claws to the skull, he then bams back. Back. Look on my players' faces right now. Beck lights up Zombo 3. Genie goes for the carotid artery and starts gnawing. The flavor is a bit much and she ejects her last several meals at the barbarian. Orpheus stabs the ogre in response. JD does a leap and stabby, taking a zombie to his demise. Zombo's broski didn't like that, so he took a swipe at JD. The other Zombro went after Orpheus. Both heroes take a bit of damage. Well, by bit, actually, rather, JD fainted. Beck does more magic pew pew and then begins trying to sort out where the storeroom is. Jeannie sees her feline partner hit the floor, so she leaps from the ogre's head, pirouettes off the barbarian's head, and does the fancy ass ballet moves over the catman, grabbing her staff from behind him. Just as she lands, she drops her wild form and lands with a proud stance and panting. Orpheus takes the term scissoring to a macabre new level, dissecting his chest with both trident and sword. Ogre Zom has left the building. JD is super inspired by what he sees and wrecks the face of his local zombie. Genie casts flames into the pit-sized Zombo and melts him. Orpheus takes out the final Zombo. But wait, there's more. But it comes back again, and the crowd goes wild, cheering for the party. Notes missing due to note takers being AFK. Orpheus takes his sword on a swift journey through the last Zombo's neck. Bye-bye head, hello champion title, 200 gold, a fancy ass dagger, plot twist, portals open above the whole party, black swirl holes that swallow the party, and scene. I give you Graphoniac, our local druid and note taker.
I'm really quite pleased with myself. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here every week.
I want that dagger.
Thoughts and comments on those notes.
That was a lot more than I remembered it being.
I was very busy. There was a lot of action.
So, as the notes rightfully say, portals suck you up and you are traveling at relatively fast speed. I would like everybody to make a constitution saving throw. Okay. 10 from the rogue. What was that graph? I'm not hearing it.
How about now?
There we go.
8 from your druid.
8 from the druid.
19.
19. Okay.
I had to
Okay.
I had to re-roll the d20s because I forgot which one rolls well. Because I'm pretty sure it's never the same d20. But if I roll all 3 of them, I can just be like, oh, this one's good right now.
And a 13. All right. Well, everybody minus Orpheus, you feel a rather strong wave of nausea as you are unable to have any form of grounding and you begin to feel dizzy and you pass out. Orpheus, you feel the nausea yourself, but you have a strong stomach. What feels like minutes, maybe even hours, all of a sudden, everybody who passed out during the transition, you thump as you land in a pile of snow. The air is cold. Orpheus kind of like it's like a boulder going through a 50-foot hill of snow. Hello.
I would like to kindly remind the listeners that we are effectively all in our underpants.
Why?
Except for the cat person.
And now
Beck.
I am violently cold. Actual real life cold. Thank you very much, Ashley.
Becky's actually wearing leather armor.
Aren't I also wearing leather armor?
Technically, yes.
Because I stole it from the guy in
Some
the...
really shoddy patchwork leather armor, yes.
I'm still naked.
You also have fur.
That's true.
So yeah, it's pretty cold.
Also, incidentally, because I was out for my growing up period, this is the first time that I understand
Diamond
concept
cutters.
of nipples cutting glass. This is a whole new experience for me.
Yep. Hmm.
Question to follow up that point of clarification. If I rage, do I feel warmer?
Never actually had anybody ask that before. Nor have I heard that being asked anywhere else. I would say yes. Because blood boiling, etc., etc., etc.
Now I have a science question.
Oh god. How quickly this got derailed.
If the barbarian feels warmer because rage is blood flow, you know what else happens with blood flow? Is this I need to know for science reasons.
Orpheus. Roll a boner check.
It's for science.
So, do me a favor. Roll a d20. And for the shits and grins of it, add a performance check.
Do I want to roll high?
I don't know, do you?
I don't know what high means.
Neither do I until you rolled.
Well, my last triple roll meant this one rolled well. So we'll use this one. I don't know if I want to be happy about this or not.
It's a nat 20, isn't it?
First nat 20 on a boner check. This is going well.
I'm fucking dying.
Y'all are gonna hear me record the rest of this TikTok because the podcast will enjoy it.
Oh my god.
I just rolled a nat 20. Thank you for the content.
Yeah, it's
I think that's
that's probably the
that's a 26.
that's the most powerful boner you've ever had.
Well then.
Okay, so now the druid is both naked, cold, and confused.
What clothes are you wearing, Orpheus?
Underwear and a barrel, I think. Am I still wearing the barrel?
The barrel kind of exploded when you landed.
Okay. So there's wood pits around me, and I have underpants on.
Yeah.
And there's wood on. No, I should stop.
Wait, are you high? Do I need to catch up?
I'm not actually high yet. I just took it, so it can't have hit this soon.
I beg to differ.
I'm not.
We're in for an interesting game today, folks. We are in for an interesting game.
I feel dirty asking somebody for a boner check in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. I just want that noted for the record.
Do you though?
Just a little bit.
All right, I'll put it in the record.
So as you all flop, or not so much in this case, you all begin to roll down the hill at significant speed. Please go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
$17.
Okay.
12.
Is there anybody close enough for me to reach out and touch?
You're kind of scattered everywhere.
Okay.
Not really within arm's reach.
In spite of the recent boner check, am I allowed to touch myself?
Do
Asking
I
a real
want to
question
say,
here.
please elaborate?
I picked up a spell called Resistance. And
Okay.
Any person I touch, I can give a D4 that they can roll and add to their saves.
I will allow it self-use because you are a willing person.
Okay.
Dexterity saving throw, you said?
Yes.
6.
Okay.
12.
Okay. Eight, 18. Okay. So, Aries, what did you grab? It was a 17.
I grabbed a tree.
No, what did you roll?
Oh, I rolled a 17. Yeah.
17. Okay. As you guys are sliding down a significant speed, your cat-like reflexes kick in, and you manage to claw yourself into a passing branch. You feel the jolt and a whole bunch of snow. Um, a whole bunch of snow flops on your head, but you shake it off, and you're hanging from the branch with one-handed clawed into the branch. Joey, 18. You fumble and fumble and fumble and trying to grip onto several rocks. Eventually, you do find a rock large enough to basically hug. You manage to wrap your arms around it. As for Orpheus and um our resident druid Genie, what did you roll, Genie?
12.
12. The momentum picks up rather rapidly with Orpheus. It's kind of like a bear running down a hill, and eventually it turns into tumble rolls and thump thump thump. Your back smacks the bottom of a rock, and you tumble over, continuing to fall down the mountain. Go ahead, make another dexterity saving throw. Genie, you are following. It takes a little bit longer for your speed to gain, but you do end up following the same. Also, you go ahead and take 7 points of bludgeoning damage on your way down. What was your dexterity saving throw? Oh shit.
11.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a crit fail. No, that's not good. Genie?
You asking me to another
Yep.
dex clue?
Yep.
17.
17. All right.
No, with dex it's 19.
Okay. Uh, as your speed is picking up, you manage to quickly grip hold of your staff and lodge it between a couple of branches, and you are now locked and dangling. So it's kind of like a monkey stuck in a tree. As for Orpheus, you just keep tumbling and tumbling and tumbling, and you fall for several minutes, taking another. You take another 5 points of bludgeoning damage
What's my
until
total bludgeoning so far?
that was 8 plus 5.
13.
Okay, and eventually you come and to a very hard halt as the back of your head smacks against the bottom of the tree, and you are knocked out cold.
Y'all have an unconscious Hulk on your hands.
very naked, unconscious Hulk.
As you hit your head for being the killing blow, quote unquote, you take another 8 points of bludgeoning damage, which is considerably low given the speed that you were traveling.
I had a question.
Yes.
Did that branch sticking out of the front of Orpheus not slow his descent any?
Once the back hit the rock and tumbled over, gravity basically kind of evened it out again.
It was a penis joke.
Would you like to add a bonus strength check on your way down?
I would just like to request that we not break his penis.
It's not like he's going to be using it anytime soon.
That you know of. He's pitched a pretty good tent so far.
I've seen this comic drawn, but it's usually the mountain and his wife.
Oh, shit. God damn it. So,
As evidenced by prior scores from the week, I am in fact not that Ares. Ares has a halo over his head.
yeah. Okay, so we're going to leave you three dangling and hugging rocks for a hot second. Orpheus, as you are unconscious, a very familiar face. Don't flip me off. Don't flip me off. No. Put the birds down. Put the birds down. A very familiar face is stood next to you. And offers a hand. Doesn't say anything, just offers a hand.
Who's the familiar face?
Your best friend. Death.
I'm gonna look up and down and be like, okay, and then reach up and take his hand.
Okay. You feel a very sudden disassociation take place as when you take his hand, you notice once again that you've left your body. Time? Okay, why are we timing out?
For context, listeners, Jess stole this idea from me on timeout.
Wait, what?
That's all I got. That's all I got. Continue.
Okay.
I gave you ideas on how to torture my character.
Oh, yes, you did. And I am
Rude.
practicing those ideas with great enthusiasm. He looks at you and says, "Don't worry, you're not dead. This is just a courtesy call." I'm surprised that you survived. But that rage is only going to get you so far. You you're going to have to be careful, as you may end up lashing out at those that you love most. And let's face it, you don't quite fully know how to control that rage. You haven't really used it a lot. And I think we need to go on a little adventure. Consider this a test. You are going to take my job for 24 hours. If you succeed, consider your past transgressions settled. If you fail, well, I'm pretty sure you know what happens. 24 hours. He kind of then palms you right in the chest, and you feel your soul re-enter your body, and you now wake up again with heavy concussion.
Can I monologue what went through Orpheus's head for a moment?
Sure.
They say I'm lucky to be alive, but I'd rather not be, because the only thing I have to live for isn't here anymore. And now he wants me to do that, but then I have them. And he wants me to what now? Or he's gonna what now? What is he doing to me? Whoosh. How my head hurts.
Yep. As you wake up, you see a very stout, young-faced dwarf at your feet. And he kind of, quite literally kicks you whilst you're down, but not in a harmful way. Kind of like, oi, wake up, and just continues to nudge you. He then squats down and just kind of gently taps left and right on your cheeks.
Oi, I'm awake.
Ah, that was quite the fall.
Yeah.
Where did you come from?
He points in a nondescript direction down.
Ah.
Because last I knew, the portal sucked us up, right?
Yes. He says in a way that is understanding but not. And he says, come with me. Let's get you cleaned up. And that's where we'll leave you.
Thanks.
For a hot minute. You can drink tea and recover from that fucking torture fest that I just gave you. Jeannie, Beck, and our resident rogue who is currently AFK. Within minutes, you hear a scraping sound down the side. Say again.
Before you launch into that, 2 questions, player to DM.
Okay.
1, did we see can we see as far as wherever Orpheus landed? Did we see that happen?
You saw him hit his head, and you saw
The dwarf.
you see the dwarf, but it's very very slow. He fell quite a way down. We're talking like triple digits. The only reason why he got like the damage that he did was because of the snow.
Okay, so he's really far from us.
He's really far.
Okay. Second question. When we left off, you said that the guards that were with Beck and the couple of guards that were near us and Orpheus when he got the prize got sucked up with us. Where did they go? Yes, I'm fishing for the pipe.
Yeah, I know you are. That's fine. That's fine. I was getting to the pipe anyway.
Okay.
You don't really know. You've not really had time to really look around as you're currently clinging on for your dear life. But you do see one of the guards screaming his way down as he's tumbling and rolling just like you were, and failing every opportunity to grab something for support, and literally falls to his death all the way at the bottom of the mountain.
It's a bad day for him.
He's like, and then where's my pipe, bitch?
And then
and then. You see a couple of other guards, like kind of impaled on peaks and spikes of the mountain, like full blown straight through the spine, out through the chest. One of them actually has a heart on top of it because it's just gone straight through. The look at my plays are killing me. Y'all are killing me. Y'all are killing me.
no,
I think.
killing us.
Oh, good. Excuse me. Oh, good God. All right.
Have I mentioned that I hate you?
No, actually, yes, many a time. Mm. You hear the sliding. I'm gonna get to the guards. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to the guards. You've got a couple already. You see, you see bits of snow from the mountain brush past, like literally right in front of you, and you hear the scraping downside of the mountain, and a very stout figure, kind of jolts another pick inside of the mountain and looks over at you. Put yourself in quite the predicament there, aren't you, love? Very bad for the Scottish accents. Like I'm warming up. It's fine.
I'm sorry. This is graph to DM. I'm parsing what you said. It was too many words at once. A what?
A stout little, a very stout figure, very small being,
Oh,
sliding down the mountain,
okay.
like Mission Impossible style, minus the theme tune.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
You do hear the theme. You do hear the stout figure mumble some form of theme tune under his breath as he's sliding down the mountain.
That's a degree of badassery that I can get behind.
Okay.
Okay, to answer his question, yeah, little stuck.
As that brief conversations take place, you hear another set of scraping down, and there's another one up the other side of you. I don't know what we'll do with her. I mean, we try and take her inside.
So my staff is
Like,
lodged.
yeah, like you kind of used it as like a monkey bar.
Okay. And is one of the or how big are either of the trees?
They're big enough that there's some distance that you could, like,
Yeah,
jump
not
along.
doing that. I am not Beef Boy. I'm going to concentrate um on being a rat and wild shape so that I can climb up onto my staff across the staff to one of the trees
Okay.
and gripping the tree I'm going to dislodge my staff while they're having this conversation.
They watch you with great interest, and excuse me. And before you actually get a chance to dislodge your staff, he grabs you and puts you on his shoulder, and the other one grabs your staff, and then they start making their way back up. Um,
Okay, so thinking fast but also panicking, Jeannie just like clings to the coat of the one and just sort of watches.
they're really focused at the moment, and they're just climbing the mountain. It's second nature, and they're very experienced. And they've done this many times.
While I'm
Um,
doing that, I'm gonna be on the lookout for my other party members.
okay. Um, another. You see a couple of other dwarfs sliding down, stout figures sliding down the mountain with these picks. One of them latches a rope around. Uh, it's been so fucking long since we played. I keep forgetting y'all's names. Uh, Catmandu. We're gonna call him Catmandu because that's what I remember him as. JD. There you go. Uh, and he starts like it's kind of like when you're training somebody to do mountain climbing or zip lining, you'll have somebody attached with you to so they don't fall to their death. So as the dwarf is climbing, JD is kind of making sure the slack between them is even, and he's climbing up the mountain himself. Um, with words of encouragement. Come on, you're a great pussy. You've got this. Um, as for Beck, um, one of the dwarves fly down on a creature that you haven't really seen before, and kind of just very, very Gandalf esque, kind of just grabs you and flies you to the top. um, you're the first one there.
Really like to see that.
You
Given the
do.
size difference.
You do see this take place as the
That's
bird just
fantastic.
like it doesn't actually circle up, it just flies up as if it's building elevation. Um, yes, Orpheus, like your face is just like wow. Explain.
I'm still stuck on boner check.
Wonder if that's the fun. Like, probably not. No. Um.
We know you have no performance anxiety.
Obviously not, because it's fucking
no,
cold.
there is actually a thing called rage boner. Funnily enough,
How am I supposed to? I don't know.
but
These
there
things.
is actually a thing called a rage boner.
I'm just an innocent druid. I don't know anything.
So all of that takes place. Beck, you are the first to reach the top. Um, you're kind of outside an entrance to a cave. He kind of plops you down, like thump into the snow, kind of face first. Excuse me. and the bird then kind of just flies in. Bird-like creature flies in, and you just see it nosedive.
Also, the fact that I work for death now.
Kind of.
You're like Mort.
Back. You. There you are.
That's why I was muted.
Yes.
I was double muted. I thought I only had it on the mic. I have it in both. Um, I will, after seeing the bird dive down the hole, instead of following the bird immediately, since it went straight down,
Hmm.
I will try and check and see where the rest of my party is
Okay.
without falling off the edge of whatever precipice I'm standing on.
Okay. As you approach the edge, you do see another guard with a wooden like object in its belt. The dirty look I'm getting from Graf right now. The look of bitch, please. It is curved, curved, and has a circular tip. That's what she said.
Okay. How far away is it?
You literally are going past it as you have to approach the edge to look over and find out where your party members are.
Oh, so he's just like right there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Excuse me, good dear God. I'm just Jesus Christ, gonna be a lot of coughing.
I am going to I'm gonna loot the body.
Okay.
See if there's anything useful that we can scavenge off of it.
Okay. Uh when you do loot, you do come across this pipe that Genie has been kind of harping on about. Um whilst you guys were in the abyss. Um you don't really find much else in terms of quality of what you already have. Uh, you know, armor similar to yourself and a short sword.
Okay. Any clothing or anything that might be warmer than what my other party members might have? I mean, I know the leather might not be big enough for a set of leather armor for Orpheus, but maybe it would work as a nice leather vest to help keep some of the cold off.
um, not at the moment. No, there isn't really anything there.
All right.
There wouldn't be either, really. You do come across a satchel, like a well, there's actually a term for the bag, like an over the shoulder bag, but not
A messenger
handbag.
bag.
There you go. Excuse me. I'm not dying, I swear. I don't have COVID, I swear.
That was last year.
um, there does seem to be like some kind of like mm, shoddy quality clothing that would be worn after your shift at work.
Anything's better than what we currently have, so I will collect up the clothing, the
Okay.
armor, the short sword, all of it, dump it all into the satchel, throw the satchel over my shoulder. The pipe I will tuck into the folds of the leather vest that I'm currently wearing. That way I don't accidentally break it in the satchel,
Hmm.
jostling it around. And then I will continue trekking over to check on the rest of the party so that I can see where they're at.
Okay.
How long until they get there?
Um, It takes them several minutes, but they do eventually reach the top.
Okay.
As the stout-like figures uh hoist up the rope and untangle them, you do see the black rat, which you know is Genie, kind of hop off, and I'm going to assume return back to non-rat form. Um, and the two of them like just gesture you to follow them, and that's where we'll leave you lot. Orpheus.
Yes.
Hi, how we doing?
Uh, confused. I've got a dwarven friend here, I think. That's what I gathered from how you described them. They're a dwarven friend person, and I'm still sitting in the snow, I think.
Yeah, you haven't quite grabbed his hand yet. He's offering, to help you up.
I'm gonna do the same thing I did with Death and kind of look at him for a minute before grabbing his hand and hoisting myself up, hoping I don't pull him down with me.
He's strong. He's pretty strong.
So am
And
I.
he holds like you were just supporting your weight.
Yeah, he's stronger than me because I rolled real low on the accidental pulling him down.
You do see his arm shake a little bit, but it's enough that you manage to hoist yourself up, and you are still in your body.
Okay, I didn't get hoisted out of myself this time. Do I still have a mega boner?
Boner check.
What have I done?
Now I'm at a 16. I went
It's a
from
se-
26 to 16.
It's a semi. It's a
So I went from the biggest boner I could have to a half boner. Got it.
which is actually pretty damn good considering you just spoke to death. It means that death actually didn't kill the entire mood for you.
Never mind death. What about the tossle in the snow for the last 5 minutes
and
rolling
and
down the side
and
of a mountain?
and the fact that cold snow, which has the effect of making one crawl back up inside itself,
I
seems to have not been
raged, and
affected.
that's why you made me do this.
Actually, you can blame Graph. Graph is wholly responsible for this.
So listen. My character is written such that she asks questions like that because she needs to know, because this is how we learn, and I'm not sorry.
Orpheus doesn't learn.
He might.
It takes him a very long time.
um
So I spring up from the ground. I don't entirely spring up, but
your head hurts. You got up too quickly and you do have a concussion.
yeah, I wobble a little bit.
Yep. The dwarf, like the stout like figure you assume is a dwarf, looks incredibly smaller now as he reaches your shin and is like,
How did he pull me up without me throwing him?
"What do you mean? You weren't gripping to yeet. You were gripping for support."
Right, but like if he's that small, the angle of
He kind of
he could have.
shrinks. He shrinks a little bit into the snow
Okay,
as
that
you
makes more
put your
sense.
yeah. Okay. Um, he looks up past the semi up to your face and he went, "Jesus, you're tall."
I am.
He then looks back down, trying to ignore what he sees on the way down, and kind of gives you like a towel to wrap around your waist. You might poke somebody's eye out with that thing. I'm just saying. Come on.
I take the towel and I tie it around myself.
The semi is less obvious.
I tie the knot in the back.
Okay. In fact, roll a stealth boner check.
Sweet cheeks.
Is this a performance or an actual stealth check?
This is a stealth bonus, so stealth.
10.
Mm.
But my butt cheeks hanging out.
Yep.
Mhm.
He's just like,
He's not a smart boy.
yep, no, that's fine. He says, follow me, and excuse me, he starts walking in the opposite in the direction that he came from.
So down?
No.
Up?
No.
Sideways?
He walks, yeah, sideways pretty much. He walks like round the corner and brushes some freshly fallen snow away from the rock, traces his hand, and then punches the rock, and then places his palm, and then a secret passage unfolds.
Secret tunnel.
It's not a very big tunnel.
So I have to hunch over.
Hands and knees.
I'm gonna rotate my towel so that the opening is facing down and now it's covering my tushy.
We have our barbarian with his semi on his hands and knees in a secret tunnel.
It's now draped down below his butt so anyone behind him can't see. And there's no shadows coming from him.
That's fine.
I'm gonna need a minute. with
Same.
this.
I
Because
have questions about the towel.
I have questions in general about what to happen next. As he casually just walks through, you get on your hands and knees and you start crawling through.
And I rotate my
As
little
the
half
towel
skirt.
is rotated. You know, like how dogs like butt slide across the floor? Kind of what your boner is doing to the dirt. So, as you are crawling, you are slowly compiling a small mounting of dirt.
How is this? Oh my god, I do not need those measurements.
That's what I'm thinking.
And now we
It's already
have
well
now we
established.
have the druid using hand measurements.
Oh, I'm glad I left the pot in my bedroom.
It's already
Why?
well established that Orpheus has a member well exceeding average lengths.
Absolutely.
He well exceeds average lengths in everything except intelligence.
But in order to crawl on your hands and knees, it starts at the hips, right? That's where
Yep.
those start. For it to drag on the dirt, it has to exceed the
Hands
knee.
and knees, it's almost army crawling for him. So there is some.
Like a man's thigh. Okay.
These tunnels are for dwarves.
We're talking about somebody's member that went from the top of a dragonborn's head to the tip, past the tip of its nose. We're already well established that Orpheus has a member longer than a baby has an arm.
I think people have left the building to get pot. Are we good?
Your definition of hands and knees does not equate to the same definition.
It's hands and knees in the sense that it's almost an army crawl. So you're not crawling like a
That's-
baby, you're like elbows.
That's not what hands and knees means.
Okay, army crawling then.
Thank you. Can
You're
we go
still
back to hands and knees?
You're still compiling the dirt pile.
Can we just go back to it being hands and knees?
Why?
Can that be canon now?
Why?
Because of all of the reasons Joey already listed and Graf's reaction.
Oh, absolutely. It's canon. Okay, all this would have never have been mentioned if you hadn't asked about the boner. So this is still your fault.
I know, and I have regrets.
Do you though?
Yes.
I have none of the regrets.
I have 12 inches of a regret at least. Although it's really more like 18.
That depends. Is Orpheus a grower or a shower?
Oh, well, considering none of you really knew, I would say a grower.
Oh, I beg to differ, ma'am. Beck was very, very intimate and had already had a conversation with Orpheus that we were never to discuss this moment, ever. Is canon.
For the record, I hate you, and that's going in the notes.
That Graf hates me?
No, me.
Okay.
So, you guys would have already heard this from the get-go, but this is an 18 plus Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Anything that we say, we are not responsible for how you take it. That's what she said.
I'm gonna need to make a call to my therapist tomorrow.
Wow! So how is that conversation gonna go? I know we're slightly derailed, but this is worth it.
Listen, that's doctor-patient confidentiality.
I have feelings for my barbarian friend who's hung like the Empire State Building.
I'm sorry, repeat that?
I said what I said.
The only thing that would make this more interesting is if King Kong had to climb that instead of the Empire State Building.
I think you should just put brackets, dick jokes for 15 minutes.
Mm.
Oh, shit.
But that's
Okay,
just the tip.
so when I was thinking about today's session, not once did it cross my mind about does Orpheus have a boner? Not once did I think, oh, Ashley's going to ask about is she going to be warm through rage. Not once did I think of that.
To be fair, all I asked was, it's a snowy environment. If I rage, do I get warmer? And then Graf comes out with what happens when the blood keeps moving.
Just make sure it doesn't last any longer than 4 hours.
Otherwise, consult your doctor.
I don't have one.
Well, you don't need one.
Lucky for you, Beck's already familiar with the problem at hand.
I
It's
cannot
gonna
wait
take
to
more
see
than a
these
hand
notes.
to handle that problem.
I cannot wait to see this week's notes.
Neither can I.
It's okay. Beck's got two good hands.
Spoiler alert. They basically say, I hate you.
For context, though, the reason why Jess and I just burst out like full on belly laughing earlier is Graf got up and walked away, and then Graf walked over to the side of the wall and like stood there nice and straight, and it looked like she was measuring.
Yep. Absolutely.
I have no comment, and I'd like to talk to my lawyer.
Hi, I'm your lawyer.
Okay, so I'm dragging dirt along the end of my Empire State Building.
The tunnel goes for some distance, and occasionally you kind of need to shimmy left and right to disturb the mountain of dirt.
You mean I have to shake my hips?
Just a little bit.
I gotta get the pendulum swinging.
I still want to know if there's light coming from the end of the tunnel and if this towel is sheer or not.
No, it's not. It's a towel. It's not something like. It's not. It's a towel. Towels are thick. Like my boy.
In more ways than one. It was at this point that we decided to go on break, and we proceeded with half an hour of dick jokes. If you would like to listen to them, feel free to subscribe to our OnlyFans, link in bio. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Unscheduled break, but worth it because, courtesy of the local druid, campaign got derailed for about half an hour straight with non-stop dick jokes. And it all started with a boner check. So, where do we leave off?
So we've got Beck and Jeannie up at the top in the mouth of the cave. JD has made friends with the climbers. I'm assuming he's also at the top by now. And our poor barbarian is dragging his dick in the dirt down below.
Oh yeah. So yeah, as Beck is and then you see the rogue mouth. How long is he? We actually haven't come up with an actual measurement yet.
No, that question broke the graph last time, so we're moving on now.
Actually, Ash, for shits and giggles, roll me a d12.
Only a D12?
2d12. At this point, this is dick size, so 2d12. No shit! What did you get? What did you get? Ash, what did you get?
Blessed be the golden child.
Blessed being before double 12. That's... You got a
She's
double
not
12?
here.
That's a 2-foot dick.
That's what I was saying!
That's almost as big as Genie.
I'm 2'7".
Exactly.
Foot. I am 7 inches taller.
But you're several inches wider.
Ooh.
I blame the rogue for that one. This campaign is sponsored by the druid and the rogue.
So in that case, he only ever gets just the tip. Because nothing can fit that shit.
Unless you got a bag of holding. Anywho,
We're gonna adjust that roll and say that I had a 12 and an 8.
Okay, that's not much better.
Does not make it much better.
Right, but he's 6'9".
To be fair, 6'9" with a 2 foot dog.
But I'm Digfoot 7. So, I mean 2'7".
6'7". Cannon! Officially
1 foot,
cannon!
2 foot, Dick 4.
Officially cannon!
Oh, this is gonna be just like the Halloween special that we couldn't finish because we couldn't stay on track. I
Yep.
think we just gave Aries an asthma attack.
One mini asthma attack from the rogue later. So, as Beck was looking over the ledge and watching you two make your way to the top, you finally get to the top. And you're now back with Beck. The dwarves just simply gesture you to follow them, and they make their way inside the entrance of the cave. They, without hesitation, just swan dive what seems to be. I love how Ares came into shot and then the halo. It's like ting.
No, I beg to differ. That's the tent. The ting comes from the tent.
They just swan dive, and about 7-8 seconds later, you hear a sploosh as they are now in water. What do you two get? What do you two people do? 3 people do.
First thing I'm going to do is try and put some clothes out for Jeannie. I'm going to offer her the armor and the clothes that.
Bro, I'm Digfoot 7. There's no way any of this is fitting me, but thank you.
The cloth might provide you more protection from the cold than the lack of clothing. And maybe.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold up the shirt.
Okay.
I'm gonna compare the neck opening to my shoulders.
You remember Monsters Inc.
Mm-hmm.
Boo.
with Boo
Mm-hmm.
and how her hands were almost never visible because of the sleeves? That's kind of how that. It's like you've stolen your boyfriend's hoodie, and it's
Which
2
is my favorite
sizes too
aesthetic of
big.
all time. So it's going on.
I'll also offer you one of the leather belts so that you can cinch it at the waist so that maybe it won't be so long that you're tripping over it all the time.
There's no cinching. None of those knots will ever work, but I'll tie it.
And then I will also hand you what I think might be your dad's pipe.
I freeze, and I look at it, and then I look at your face, and I look at it, and I say, "Where did you get that?" And as I'm grabbing for it.
Okay.
Same place I got the clothes from the dead guy yonder.
I'm not listening anymore. I'm just turning it over and over in my hands, feeling it and wiping it, cleaning it
It's
off.
confirmed your dad's pipe.
Yeah. At this point, I have inspected it all over and run my fingers all over it, cleaning, picking out any dirt that I've found, wiping it off.
It's relatively clean, all things considering. It
Doesn't matter.
Smoked.
Still doing it.
Okay.
And I don't actually say anything after that. I just keep looking at my pipe.
Okay.
And then I realize that I'm being rude, and I look up at him and I say a very quiet thank you, but then I go back to my pipe.
Okay. JD?
Well, that's happening. I'm going to look at him and say, "See you down at the bottom," and jump and do a flip off the top.
Make an acrobatics check.
16.
All right. You stand looking at them, feet on the edge. You bounce on your feet a little bit, and then you yeet yourself off this incredibly tall cliff on the interior, and you back somersault. You do two, three, four somersaults, and then straighten yourself out and sploosh.
And then as soon as I hit the water, all you hear is a high pitched cat scream.
I'll look up from my pipe for that. I'll look at the dragonborn and chuckle a little.
Um, if we're heading for the cliff to jump in at this point, I will grant Genie both guidance and resistance.
Okay.
I'm going so we determined in our game anything that I've got carried on me comes with me when I wild shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm putting the pipe in my mouth while I adjust all my stuff.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna tuck
There is
that.
there is a faint taste
I
of the
hate you so-
remains,
I hate you so much.
just ever so faint.
And you know what? Screw it. I was gonna rat form so that I could dive, but as I reach the edge and I look down, I realize there's no way that even small me is going to enjoy that fall. So rat me is not. And then I panic and I back up because I realize how incredibly far it is, and I remember how terrified of heights I am, and I rat form anyways, and I crawl up the dragonborn.
Okay.
After finding some place to help Rat Genie be comfortable as possible, I will step to the edge, give myself guidance and resistance, and
Okay.
hop over.
Make an acrobatics check.
I gotta check something because I might be using that guidance. Yeah.
What'd you get?
I got a 16, and then we're gonna add a 1, so it's a 17.
Okay. You take a deep breath. It looks it's a long way down and it's slightly disorientating at first, but you pull yourself together and very much like Catmandu JD, our resident rogue, you yeet yourself off. But instead of doing the fancy finesse shit, you just straight up one somersault and dive. And you feel the air brush past your face and then sploosh. It's quite a clean dive as well. Um, with the so at this point you are all underwater. So check again. I think you can survive up to I think 2 minutes underwater before you start to drown. Uh, you basically just follow dwarves as they are swimming. They're actually quite fast swimmers. They seem to have adapted themselves to it quite nicely. For what seems to be a good solid 10-15 minutes, seems to be that long, is just like a minute and a half You've got no idea where you're going. You can barely see them as it is. They have like glow sticks, kind of, and you're just following the light. With a series of turns, you eventually find yourself to the top, and there is a waft of humid heat blasting your face. And that's where we'll leave you. Dickfoot7. um, the Pendulum Swinger, the Empire State Building. It takes. You're still crawling, and there's a lot of crawling to be done, and a good solid 10 minutes go by, and several readjustments and rearranging of the dirt take place, and eventually you come to what seems to be like a dead end. The dwarf just and a stone slide opens up. Password. And he puts his mouth to the shutter and whispers it. Are you trying to decipher it?
I'm trying to hear it.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception.
That was a decent-ish roll. Yeah. Perception is a +0, so 17.
And what languages do you know?
Not.
I don't remember where that is.
Celestial
Celestial and Common.
Okay, you don't understand it.
Did I? I don't want to understand it.
GM, what she needs to know is if she can repeat them.
Yes. Because
she
performance
repeated,
checks.
like she repeated Draconic, she didn't understand what the hell she was saying, but she can repeat them.
Okay, so
Does she hear it clear enough, and does she have memory enough to be able to say it
okay,
again?
well that would be an intelligence check then, if we're going on memory.
Sorry, tried to help.
So the perception is 17, and to
That's good.
remember it is 15. I roll a 16.
Okay. You remember half of it.
Okay, I'm good with that.
You remember half of it, and you kind of, as you mentally say it I actually don't have a word, by the way.
That's fine. I'll just pretend he knows it and then
Yeah,
can't
so-
pronounce the rest of it.
Yeah, so it's basically like you go and then you just slide off because mental dyslexia kicks in. The dwarf nods, and in about 15 seconds you hear the clink, 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 clink as several mechanisms go by and locks or unlock. The door opens outwards, opens inwards to you, so outwards to them. And as the dwarf walks through, the one at the door looks at you, then looks at the gap. Is he going to be able to fit through that? I hadn't thought about that. Fuck. Well, it's too late now. And he looks at the mound of dirt in front of it. Do I want to know?
This is this a sir or a ma'am or a they in front of me?
You can't tell. All dwarves look the same.
They, no, Mister Miss Dwarfy person, no person dwarf person.
He then looks at his forearm, looks back at the dirt pile. I'm not going to ask questions. See if you can fit you and your pet anaconda through the gap for us, please.
How big is the gap?
It's going to be a squeeze.
So like an acrobatics check or like a
It's very
what's
much
a
an
squeeze check?
acrobatics. It's an acrobatics check, very much so.
Oh, good. I've got points into that.
Okay.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You you lie flat and readjust the pet anaconda into the waistband maneuver, and you suck it in, and you kind of put both arms through and kind of claw at the ground. You get to your chest and realize this is going to be a slightly bit more difficult than you'd anticipated. So you turn sideways and then back on your front, and you basically try and edge your way through it. When then you get to about your upper, like just below your pectorals, you've managed to squeeze past that a bit, and your shoulders are now fully usable. You can't quite get through on your own.
I got Pooh Bear stuck in this tunnel.
Yep.
Did Orpheus say that to the dwarves?
No, that was an Ashley thing.
Okay, just checking. Because that would have been magic.
Orpheus is gonna look ahead. Does he see anybody?
They're still stood there. They haven't.
No, like there's people in front of him.
Yeah.
Hey, help a Pooh Bear out.
What's the Pooh Bear? I know what a bear is, but I don't know what a Pooh Bear is.
It's cute.
You'd go left, I go right. Aye. And one grabs your left arm, the other grabs your right arm. On the count of 3, 3, 2, 1, and they start tugging. You feel yourself, you feel your side scrape the side of the rock. And it hurts, but not enough to pierce your skin. And they get you a little further and a little further to the point of your gut. Like at this point, you're now stuck at halfway in the gut. We're gonna need more people. Oi, Dave, Frank, and they
He's 220 pounds. So
you go left, you go right. Count of 3, 3, 2, 1, and they both start tugging. 2 dwarves each arm, and they tug, and they start doing it in sync. Tug, tug, and eventually, say one more, 3, 2, 1, and they tug with all of their might, and you go, and you literally go shooting out, and they pull you a good solid 2-3 feet, and they fall over them on the floor.
do I get to shimmy my hips my way out?
Yeah, and then you kind of get launched a little bit, 2-3 feet in front. At that point, you are able to stand up comfortably.
I adjust the towel for decency, and I put the opening on my hip. There's more people here now.
They look at each other and they start speaking in a tongue that you don't understand.
Can I make an
But
intelligence check to try to figure it out?
I mean, sure, go ahead.
No.
I mean, you see them look at you and your pet anaconda.
It's a dirty one, by the way.
31. They see you and your pet anaconda as the bits of dirt crumble from the shaft. As you adjust the towel, more dirt falls out. They're just like, and they all put their forearms together, like in front of each other. Like, how is that even possible? And they just go about their business. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
That'll be a 13.
Okay. About 20, 30 feet ish away from you, you do hear and see your friends come up as they have a sharp inhale of air.
Hey, guys.
You guys hear that.
Get me out of this water.
And ladies and lizard folk.
It took me a second to realize Orpheus was talking about me as a lizard folk.
Yep.
Oh no, he's just trying to make light of the fact that he's definitely naked and wearing a towel.
Black rat blushes.
Make a performance check.
Moi?
Yes. What'd you get?
I guess.
It's either a 20 or a 1.
Yep.
One, she would have re-rolled it.
That was a nat 20, wasn't it?
Nope.
It's a nat one.
That's not one, and it gave me a 6 after.
Okay. You blush, but nobody really catches on. If
Oh,
you'd
no,
have got
that's
if you got a 20, huh?
That's fine by me.
If you'd have got high, your cheeks would have actually went red as a rat.
Is Graffy high right now?
Still not. It still hasn't hit. I'm
It's
waiting.
been a minute.
I know.
It's been a while. It's been like nearly an hour.
Mm-hmm.
um okay. Um why, Aries? Of everything holy, why is the thing that you lick white? After the discussions that we have had tonight.
For context, listeners, I pulled out the yarn and started crocheting a hat to bring some wholesome to this dirty shit show.
I'm just eating a confetti cake cupcake with vanilla cream cheese
It's
frosting.
not what you're eating. It was the way that you were eating it.
I was eating the icing.
You were licking-
Nonchalantly just tonguing it.
That's how I eat it.
That's what she said.
What was it about just 25 seconds ago trying to bring wholesome to this shit show?
I'm sorry, Michael Scott took over for a minute.
Yeah.
Can I read you the notes from the last paragraph?
Sure.
We are so derailed that we have to do this today.
Orpheus has made it to a secret door in the tunnel. They have a couple interesting conversations about measurements, and they shove him through the hole, tucking Member aside to not get caught. But for all that effort, he gets Pooh Bear stuck in the tunnel. It requires a 4-man tugging team to get the big man through the small hole. Seriously, DM, I hate you for making me take these notes.
Oh God. Okay, we are at the bottom of some sort of thing, and y'all went swimming, and I just got pulled out of a tunnel, and I'm readjusting my towel.
I'm legit a soaking wet rat.
Yep. Yeah, it is a
And-
soaking wet rat and a soaking wet kitty cat.
I'm a fucking grumpy soaking wet kitty cat.
Well, I'm gonna get high now.
Now?
Point of interest, Jessica. I am capable of casting Destroy Water.
Okay.
And also in my druid test, I was trained in being able to pull a singular element off of the thing. Can I, within reason, dry off my party?
Once you get out of the water, sure. I wouldn't see why not.
Okay. So at the moment, we're all treading water at the top.
Yep. And you see a very, very dirty looking Orpheus wrapped in a towel. That is
And I'm at a really
just-
great vantage point, too. That's fantastic. You
Uh,
realize
Make our way to the
that
water.
I'm 2'7" as druid, but as a rat, things are significantly larger.
On that clarification that Orpheus can see the water, he's gonna notice the water, realize how dirty he is, feel ashamed of himself, and make his way over to the water to try to clean himself off.
Okay.
Not directly towards any of the party members. He's gonna like pick the farthest point.
Okay.
Does he disrobe?
No. He takes part of the towel that's wrapped around him and dabs it in the water and like tries to like clean himself without taking it off, because if you haven't noticed, your boy is bashful.
It's also very naked.
Yes.
It's really very naked in here. Is there shoreline I can swim to?
Yeah.
I swim to it.
Mhm.
It's a shoreline. There's like a stone mosaic stone
Sure.
wall that you can climb up onto.
Yeah, I'm there. The first moment I can be.
Okay.
I'll help you up onto it.
High Panther,
Kitty cat.
High Resident Tabaxi.
The spoiled floof.
Yep. All right, so you three swim to the ledge and pop yourselves out.
I'm gonna practice my water removal.
Okay.
Once the water is removed from the satchel and the clothes and the things, I will take them to Orpheus and see if there's anything that will fit his frame.
Okay.
Please at least give him shorts. Or at least pants that turn into shorts.
They very may well be high waters, but at least they might fit as long as you wear other things like a belt.
Which I would gladly give.
I've got a spare. I'll take the belt off of me and provide a belt and pants and whatever armor leathers that the other dead guard I pulled might have.
okay. You now have a pair of tatty but comfy and baggy shorts.
Your boy's got clothes on, people. He's
Upgrades, people.
he's gonna pull the shorts up under the towel.
Yep.
And then he's gonna use the towel to continue washing the rest of him.
Okay.
I'm gonna ride out the rest of my day's allotment of wild shape in rat form so that my blushing face does not appear so obvious.
Wow.
There's not much left. I think I've got like an hour left. Probably
Okay.
45 minutes off that. But I'm gonna just hang out here until that ends.
Okay. So, as you were cleaning yourselves off, the people that guided you through the swimming have now they kind of they walked off absolutely soaking wet underneath what appears to be some sort of heated device that blasts hot air, and it kind of just instantly dries them, and they go off and do what they were doing before. They go and go back to work.
Jess, have you seen Oliver and Company?
Yes.
I'm imagining the rat walking through that.
Well, you're not, but yeah. Um, the one that guided Orpheus through kind of your call a minute
Uh,
as you like clean yourselves and drying yourselves off.
uh, I guess.
Couple of questions. Where the fuck did you come from?
Uh, I don't know.
Or that
They're
wasn't
smarter
here.
than me, though. You should ask them. They're way smarter than me.
Okay. He looks over at the rest of the party. At this
Tell me
point,
that's not here.
he snaps his fingers, and a few of the dwarves come over, and they provide you with actual clothing, and it's not cheap. It is well made and has a shiny metal seam. It's lightweight. It holds no AC value. It's just purely aesthetic. He looks at Orpheus, looks at the current pair of pants he's got, whispers to one of the doors, "We're gonna need a bigger pair."
He's gonna blush and say, "Thank you for whatever it is you can provide."
I don't mention it. Don't mention it. We're quite hospitable here. So yeah, who are you? Where did you come from? Like, fill me in.
Just turn and look at Beck and the small rodent.
Also looks at Beck.
Apparently, be your lucky day.
Beck will step forward, offer his hand, and introduce himself by his full name. Explain who he is and the theory he has about where they were, being in a prison in the abyss, because it's not entirely certain that that's what it was. It's just his working theory.
The
Um,
abyss, you say?
yeah, that's the best I can figure, considering the quality of our captors.
Well, the name's Tor. Torr.
Nice to meet you, Tor.
Um. Oh, the abyss, you say? I've heard stories about that place. I've never been myself. He looks quite young. Although common features for a dwarf is that they are quite facial hair gifted. So he does have quite the plaited beard. Um, he has slightly shaven patterns on the left side of his head, and the rest is long ginger locks of fluffy hair. Um, oh, the abyss. But I have to go and speak to my father. He might be able to help you out if you can get him to talk. You see, my father's kind of given up hope. He was uh, he was a prisoner in the abyss once, and he made it out alive with a crew. I believe he'd called Boran. They kind of tried to sort out their shit show. If you have not noticed, we may be hospitable, but as far as wealth and food, we kind of rely on magic and our own minds. And ever since this Born crew failed, our father kind of fell into a very long depression. And it's very hard for him to speak to anybody these days. He's sunken with guilt. And he just isolates himself instead of sitting on the throne back in Feck. Feck! I forgot my own fucking place's name. God damn it. Please hold.
Completely unrelated to the conversation with the dwarf. What happened to Spencer?
I was just thinking the same thing. Like, oh my god, the boy is still in the place.
No, he went with
Jessica.
us and was sucked through the portal last I remember. But
Mm-mm.
we hadn't seen where he had landed yet.
So what you're remembering, Joe, is the question I was asking at the end after the session ended is where the fuck is he? And what Jess's response was is there's
You
a chance
shut your
he's
filthy whole mouth.
still in the abyss. He's in between, or he appeared somewhere random in this area. She won't tell us where.
Don't you look at me like that, madam.
Leave it to me to ask the important questions.
Hey, I asked this at the end of last session.
Fair.
And I was just thinking it as I'm making a hat. Like, where is the boy? He's probably still stuck in prison.
Stuck in prison, in between dimensions, or just somewhere random.
Just dirty bitch DM talk for none your business.
Well, no, like, did we see where he was before we all got sucked up? That's the bigger question. Because last I knew, he was still in the stands.
Yeah, last I knew he was where JD was before he got yeeted into the ring.
Lack of an answer is
Where so I've gotten pretty quick at my stitches for this hat. Aries is sharpening small sharp objects.
don't know. Where is he? That's not for me to say.
I mean, technically,
Woman, I am imagining a young Spencer Reed right now.
Kid's named after Spencer Reed, so I now have a stake in this child's life.
So instead of back to the unrail, the choo choo train of story driven. Um the place was called Landau, by the way. Instead of sitting on the throne of Landau, it's the main capital. It's the place where Jeannie's backstory kicks in, and Bex.
That
okay,
also
wait. I'm Graph just catching up to what you said, having to translate through accents and quick speaking and sidetracks.
Mhm.
You've just told me that the guy we're talking to, Tor,
Mhm.
is the son of the guy who was on the throne when I would tried to break into the city and was part of the escape crew from the abyssal prison prior to us having escaped.
Not quite. The guy who's supposed to sit on the throne is who he's the son of.
He is the son of the rightful king of the city that you were trying to get into.
That's what I
Yes.
just said.
Okay. Aspie brain destroyed
Yeah, yeah.
everything you said. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, because my
Yes.
ass brain is finally, I think the gears are turning. So we are now talking to the son of the once and future king.
Yes. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you can help out my father, he might be able to help you out. I don't like to do the you scratch our backs and we scratch yours, but this is kind of important. And I'm pretty sure at some point maybe your paths were destined to cross. I don't know. Put your fucking claws away, god damn it.
no. That's as soon as he said scratched back, I'm just like picking my claws.
Oh, okay.
So like this is something JD's actually doing. He's just
Okay.
Um,
Feel free to stay as long as you want. Uh, if you want food, there is. I'm pretty sure you saw as you're flying down the mountain that there is a whole lot of water back there. You can catch the fish. Uh, I'm pretty sure you can create water or some shit. I don't know. I don't do magic. Um, but yeah, feel free to stay as long as you want.
At this point, Orpheus is gonna look out for JD and ask, "Hey, where's the kid?"
I have no idea. The last time I saw him, he was up in the crowd when I got tossed in to the pit.
Okay,
I haven't.
he's probably more safe there.
is that a quiet conversation?
Uh, it's not loud enough for the dwarves to hear.
Beck will lean in closer to the dwarf and ask, were we the only living people that they found?
You're the first crew to come through the abyss since Born lot. We kind of had to tap into other realms of existence to help repopulate in every sense of the word.
So are you lot the only lot that's alive here?
Apparently, there's some other settlements underground. We're keeping, kind of mimicking the roads from up above. We have a lot of the lay of the land up here, and he points to his own head. We're kind of making minecarts to other other settlements in the land without having to go up top. Because up top's a fucking shit show. I mean, we're in the Misty Mountains. That I haven't really come this far yet. But I don't really want to take my chances either. Never know who's fucking watching. But yeah, there's other settlements. I haven't really found any, but we know that they're there. We've had scouts on the outside.
Whew. All right then.
This is one of their main bases of operations. This is hate to be cliche, but the Alliance, I guess. This is where it all starts. What?
For the Horde.
Fucking wow, nerd.
Troll resto shaman for the win. All right then. Well, is your dad around? Like, I mean, here in this settlement, or
He's here. He's here. He just keeps
Okay.
himself to himself. He's not involved in anything. If anything, he actually talks of a mutiny. Because, him not being king properly, not doing kingly things. And I only have so much talkative power.
all right then. Can you make an introduction?
Uh, let him sleep for now, or and shit, you guys look like you've hammered shite. When was the last time you all slept?
I haven't.
Orpheus just shrugs.
That reminds me, actually. Uh, one final time. Charisma saving throw, please.
I haven't slept. Do I still do it?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. I don't think that counts because it's probably
You got a
delayed.
7, JD.
I got a 10.
Plus, you have resistance. It lets you roll a d4 and add that to your save for any
Oh, right.
save.
You're right. Because the thing you did at the top of the.
Excuse me.
I have an 11.
Nice.
15?
Okay.
I got a 21. A dirty
Okay.
21.
Reese, I'm sliding into your DMs.
I mean, no shit, you got a dirty 21. You can't roll a 21.
Well, I could have got a 20 and then had my benefits push it past.
It was really more for my benefit, so I'm not tracking a nat 20 that doesn't exist.
Right.
Everybody minus Aries, you made the save.
It's a 24 specifically.
Gotta love the abyssal alignment shifts, huh?
Yeah, his face.
Is that a loading bar filter? So yeah, when was the last time you slept?
I haven't.
Might be an idea if y'all got a good night's rest. You're safe here. You can talk to my father tomorrow. It might be better. And do something with him. Looking at the half beaten to shit barbarian.
Oof. All right. I will at the once I get a closer look at Orpheus, knowing how fall he fell,
Mm-hmm.
how far he fell. I will cast Cure Wounds at I think it's second level. Giving Orpheus a total of 2d8 plus 3 health back.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that fight took all my spell slots.
That's fine. I still has
2d8 plus what?
2d8 plus 3. I'm rolling the d8s and stuff for you now.
Oh, great.
Total is 16 health.
Oh, great.
Are those little chocolatey balls?
No, the caltrops.
I need them.
I think I've just slightly disturbed Aries. Ever so slightly. But before you go, I was told about people's personality changing upon leaving the abyss. Did any of y'all sleep in the abyss?
No.
Cat shakes her
did not.
head positively. She did sleep.
Yes, sir. I think.
Aye.
I just snap and say yes.
No need to be so fucking hostile about it. I'd fucking clawed up your ass. You got a worm or something.
The same thing that's about to crawl up your ass.
You'd fucking watch your tongue, laddie.
The rat looks at him quizzically.
Do I notice the rat looking at me?
Make a perception. He's a fucking rat. It's kind of, you know.
Not super tall.
Yeah.
I don't notice shit.
You got a 1, didn't you?
Yeah. So I got a 3.
Okay.
And yes, Scrap, that was a nat 1.
Thank you. Both nat ones are related to me today. This is fine.
So yeah, like your resident rogue has turned a little hostile.
Orpheus doesn't notice.
Okay.
Druid is outright concerned.
At this point, I will turn around and say that your hour is up for the day. Because you're heading for a
Fine.
long rest anyway.
Yep, headed for a long rest.
And you
Don't-
are given clothes that actually fit.
I'm very excited about this. I return the belt to Beck.
This is going to stay on for a while.
So yeah, close your eyes and see you tomorrow. And it gives a really suspicious / inquisitive look at the rogue.
What are you looking at?
He gives you a dirty look and then just walks off.
What's up his ass?
Clearly not Orpheus.
I don't think he would be walking.
Don't think he'd be alive. The intestines only stretch so much.
So the druid is going to dress and assemble herself off in a corner, trying to pretend that nobody can see her, and rejoin the group. She's going to skirt around Ares, keeping a side and confused eye on him, going to the barbarian.
Okay.
When Jeannie goes to leave the group with her clothes, Orpheus is gonna stand facing the party with his back to her, watching to make sure no one turns around.
Aww.
Aww. Roll a perception check.
All of us, or
No, just the barbarian.
That's better. Right, my perception is 0, so 14.
Nobody really noticed that she went and lurked and got
No,
changed.
Hold on. 10. Did I notice?
You noticed that the barbarian was watching your back.
That's sweet. Okay. Keeping a uncomfortable eye on Ares. I'm gonna go up to the barbarian and put my hand in his.
Roll a wholesome check. I'm kidding. You're gonna fucking roll anyway, aren't you?
I did. And if that's a charisma, that's 16.
Okay, what did the barbarian get?
We're adding charisma.
Apparently.
17.
Okay. It's wholesome as fuck. And there is an aura of red hearts.
I'm
radiating off you
imagining
both.
the joy emote from Animal Crossing.
Yeah, pretty much.
So when he looks down at me, I'm gonna say quietly enough that the group's not gonna hear. Are you okay?
Yes. He seems very unsure of himself, but he also looks very, very exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, you you just had a massive fight and then were thrown down a hill. I saw you hit that rock, and I reach up to his back, knowing full well that I cannot reach his back, and I then pull my hand back awkwardly, put it at my side, and sort of like shift because I don't know what to do with my hand now.
So was that the hand that I was holding?
In my mind, I'm on your left side using my right hand in your hand. So yes, that was the hand that I was like I would have slipped it up and then awkwardly shoved it back down.
He's gonna point at his shoulder and see if you understand what he's trying to say.
I blink at you for a half a second, and then I just nod.
He's just gonna pick you up with that one hand and stick you on his shoulder.
I'm gonna pat the top of your head and then sort of rest my arm around it.
The
And this
level
is
of
our life now.
adorableness is it's making me sick.
I put the pipe in my mouth and I hang out on his shoulder.
Tastes good.
Better fucking taste good.
Taste lingers. It's not as strong as it used to be, but there's a hint.
Genie is in Mega Spoon regen mode.
Okay, so we all turning in for the night?
Yep.
As soon as Orpheus is able to find a place to conk his noggin, he's gonna be out. He's gonna set Genie down gently. But
Okay.
then like do the same thing he did in the prison and just conk out.
Okay.
And she's little spooning him again.
Okay.
Before they get
Although I little
comfortable, I
spooned the backs of his knees, so it's kind of big spoon.
Yeah, it's the littlest big spoon.
It's called a jetpack.
Okay, I jetpacked him.
That sounds wrong.
As opposed to the rest of this session? I
Anyhow,
am his littlest big spoon. You shut up.
the
Mhm.
the pipe was the right pipe, Genie.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So, Thor makes his way back. I forgot to show you where you can sleep. Follow me. All but you. And looks at JD.
Please tell me the cat's getting put in the doghouse.
Pretty much.
I reach up and pat the butt that I'm leaning against and say, "Hey, we're moving."
You can sleep over there. I'm going to keep
By
my
the way,
eye
you're
on
over
you.
here.
Hmm?
Why do you have to keep your eye on me?
You give me a bad vibe.
Is JD allowed to insight check himself?
Would he
I'll
be
allow that. I'll allow
would he
that.
be aware enough to do it though?
Yeah, like that's the question. Is he aware enough to be able to insight check himself?
What's your intelligence? In
Probably
fact,
not.
what's your wisdom? In fact, this would be a wisdom.
My wisdom is a +0. My intelligence is a +1.
Go ahead and make a wisdom check for me.
I don't even know where that went.
It sounds like a you problem.
There we go.
That sounds like it could be an Orpheus problem.
That would be a 9.
You feel different, but that's about as much as you can gather.
Wrong kind of different areas.
You feel like instead of being the clear-minded thinker that you are, you now have a clouded mind. You begin you are internally questioning everything.
So like I do on a daily basis. Got it.
But you can sleep over there. The rest of you follow me.
Jeannie's too tired to argue.
Orpheus is gonna pick Jeannie up and carry her if she allows it.
Of course. Gonna lay my head down on the top of yours and sort of snuggle in your curls.
Because I
Scott
don't
looks
have
so weird.
because I don't have to sleep necessarily. I still have to rest. I just don't have to do a long rest.
Mhm.
I would rather keep an eye on Aries, given the attitude change.
Okay.
Or should I make an insight check to see if I would have noticed it?
No, it was obvious. It was
Okay.
flat out obvious.
Yeah, I would rather keep an eye on him and meditate nearby so that he's
I
not
mean,
left by
are you
himself.
gonna try and hide the fact that you were an asshole, JD?
No.
Okay. Then yeah, no, it's blatantly fucking obvious that his demeanor has completely changed.
That's fine. Given how I was already concerned about those kinds of things happening, I will continue to remain vigilant for those kinds of things getting worse.
Mhm. Okay. So we'll say that you go into a meditative state for 4 hours. You have 4 hours to do as you wish until you have to take that meditative state. Everybody else, Toll leads you to an upgrade of accommodation from what you are accustomed to. You actually get beds. They are not amazing quality, but anything's an upgrade when you're sleeping on hay.
Fair,
Think
hay's an upgrade from the ground.
think
Which is an upgrade from that cage.
Skyrim level of cheap house beds. That's kind of what you've got.
Okay, so when we get in there, I'm gonna go through a quiet little routine. Is the bed raised up off the ground?
Yeah.
I'm going to set my staff against the wall
Okay.
and I'm gonna glance at the barbarian, do a little quick math, and realize that I've been in my underwear in front of him this entire time. So I take off the nice clothes and I fold them up and I set them under the bed and I lay out my pipe on top of them. And as far as I know, that's all I have because everything else was in our stuff, which the cat left behind. So I'm gonna start the night in my own bed, and then as soon as I can tell the barbarian's asleep, which I'm expecting is gonna be like 5 minutes, I'm gonna move to his bed and end up littlest big spooning him again.
Okay. So, quick question for anybody to answer. What did y'all do with the prize money and the shiny stabby?
Big Boy has it. It was given to Big Boy.
Big Boy has it. I want it.
You can't have it.
I have a question though. Where did you put that?
I was under the impression that he still had like his underpants on.
Yeah, that's correct. So I will allow the stabby to be tucked in the waistband of their underpants.
I don't. Were we given a coin purse?
200 gold.
Or
Yeah.
was it in a coin purse?
Oh yeah, like it was a big bag.
It would have been tied to his waistband
Okay.
because he has no pockets.
Oh my
And
god!
his
can you
hands are his
imagine the
weapons.
bruising
Hmm?
of tumbling down that hill with that bag of gold. Can you imagine the bruising on your hip right now? Say it. Say
Maybe he
it.
likes that kind of thing.
Atta girl.
You're only worried about the hip? The length of everything else.
Can we? I skipped that on purpose.
Maybe that's
my
why
dick
he ended
meters.
up. Maybe that's why he ended up the way he ended up.
What? You beat yourself half to death with your own dick?
No,
What am I missing?
The
I've seen-
bruising. She's talking about the bruising. He likes.
Nuh-uh.
Huh.
He got hurt from all of that.
I mean, it does weigh a fair bit.
the coin purse or something else.
Sometimes
Left to open interpretation.
This is beyond 18 plus.
This was beyond 18 plus the moment this shit show started.
you're only calling it a shit show because I called it a shit show.
Yes.
Kinda. Because it actually is.
Why do you think your Saturday party's called the Sorry Little Shitbags?
Because we are sorry little shitbags. Alright, so Genie and Orpheus are sleeping.
We are cuddle
Aries,
buddies.
you were pointed in the direction of where you're sleeping. It is by the fire. In an area that is occupied by people just vibing. Absolutely. In fact, it would be the opposite. You wouldn't.
That's what I was wondering.
Yep.
Okay.
You don't give a shit.
This is gonna take me something to get used to.
My character had gotten flipped.
Well, imagine if Smallbean got flipped.
Yeah. Like, that would
Uh-huh.
really alarm and probably break the heart of her tall buddy.
Imagine
You barely made the save. And I think I
for that.
lowered it from last time.
Thanks for that buff.
I
Dutch.
think I actually lowered it. I'm going to check for the shits and grins.
No, God, no, it's fine. It's this is fine.
I'm
No,
not going to
if
rechange it.
Orpheus
I've
got
said
it.
what I've said and it sticks.
Okay.
But I'm just curious.
What would an evil Orpheus do?
Do you want to know the answer to that?
Yes, actually.
Do you want that on the record or off the record?
Oh, do me a favor. Actually, hold on. Don't do me a favor. I forgot to add a thing. Okay.
Was the on the record, off the record for me or just?
Both of you guys.
Okay. Just before you do, everything that we've discussed, Aries, 3
Mhm.
days. Oh wait, no, nope. That's. Oh, as for, I actually need to roll a d10 because I forgot this table exists. Oh, that is sweet.
Can I show it to class?
Actually, no.
Bitch.
For those who have a copy of the DM's guide, I refer to you to page 62 and look at the 8 and 9 on the table.
What page?
62. That is what your new flaw is, Aries.
Are you freaking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding
I
me?
rolled a 9 on the d10. So please add that flaw to your character sheet for the time being.
Yes, bitch, DM.
Shit's about to get real spicy.
I did not sign up to add a little bit of spice.
No, that's why I did the whole jar. It's like throwing shade, but instead of a little bit of shade, I'm throwing the whole tree.
Okay, before anything continues,
The latter. Until please hold.
I'm gonna be holding something, all right.
That's not my throat.
So to answer the question of what would evil Orpheus do you want that on the record or off the record?
Both.
Not care. Now, most of y'all have seen mostly, if not fully, angry Ashley. Imagine all of those negative emotions that I channel
Amplified.
without a care in the world of who that impacts.
That's pretty terrifying.
Mm-hmm. The good news is it is easily curable. I believe. I need to look at a spell real quick. I am so fucking chuffed with myself. Do. Oh shit! About that easily curable. Yeah. I'll have fun with that shit show.
Hey, Giles, look at my alignment.
Do, 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 do. In
Front,
okay.
notes, alignment.
Worth.
At
Mhm.
10 minutes after 9, I'm assuming we're stopping point for the night and just housekeeping.
Um, as you, I did have a little bit more plan, but we can do that next time.
I'm just saying at this point, like, there's been no drive whatsoever to get back to storyline, so we either need to get to it now and
Yeah.
do that now, or just call it.
We can go a little more if you want, just a little bit.
Based on how quickly we've gotten derailed tonight, I'm with Graph on this one.
Okay.
I'm down for either way, but I need a decision to be made.
Well, there's a couple of questions that needed to be asked regarding stuff relating to how shit's going to continue.
Let's do it.
So, you two are snuggle buddies.
Yes.
The littlest big spoon jetpack. Beck is keeping an eye on our young tabaxi over here. And what is the tabaxi doing, Mr. JD?
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
the tabaxi is tired as fuck. The tabaxi's going to sleep.
Okay. Um, whilst you are all sleeping, Orpheus. You remember that out of body experience that you just had like a couple of hours ago?
Yes.
Um, you don't get a good night's sleep. Your sleep is filled with the voices of 1,000 people. And I would like you to make a hearing based perception check. So it's just a
How?
perception check, but this is your focus is your hearing.
So roll a d20.
Yeah, roll a d20.
19. Because I got +0.
Okay, well, 19's good. 19's good. High
You
is
say
good.
that, but like
High is good. High is good. Um, you manage to
Speaking
this.
of
You manage to break the sounds and interpret some of the voices. Um, they're kind of begging for their lives about how they're not ready to die, how they have unfinished business, and the voices don't sound strong. They sound weak and fading. That's what you're that continues for about 3 or 4 hours. So you get the equivalent of a short rest. Everybody else, you sleep like babies.
every 3 hours and demand milk.
Not funny.
Who you are with?
Sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. It's too soon.
I was gonna say with who Jeannie's sleeping with.
Wrong kind of milk.
Yeah, I don't think my jaw can extend that far.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And we're back.
I just screwed
to-
up my stitch for that.
And on that
You're gonna need
bombshell.
a bucket and a mop.
We're done. We're out. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Follow us on all the socials. Subscribe to the OnlyFans if you want access to the not safe for work on the table talk during break time. I've been DFG Jess, joined by Ashzification, Joy Two Pants, Aries, and Graphoniac. Love your faces. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.